Hello, everyone. Little bit here. Oh, sorry. Little bit here. So, Grandmaster disappeared. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. But anyway, he is right here.
Guys, so this is the deal, right? I've been going crazy, so excuse my hair. Flip this, honey, please. No, I want to do this because I know we got a lot of things to do. Okay. We got to go outside. Look, come on, so I want to get serious.
It's flipped.
Okay, so now this is where the confusion comes in, guys. And no disrespect to anybody, but there's a difference between what was Karate Illustrated, where every month a competitor will be on the cover. A competitor will be on the cover. And this one's going back to 1978. Now let's go to 1978 here. This is Roy Curvin on the cover. Thanks to John O'Leary for giving me this. Region 11. You got Michael Sledge, Rupert O'Brien, Sheldon Wilkins, Chester Miller, Jerry Robbins, Errol Bennett, Howard Friedman, Ron Henderson, rest in peace, Orlando Molina, Louis Ruiz, my man, and Sam Roberts. And then even here as a P, we had Dawn Santa Maria and Billy Beeson was a junior. Sheldon Wilkins and Robert Sugar Clausen. So now, that's just Region 11. Of course, we go to Region 8, you got Keith Vitale, and so on and so forth. So this is Karate Illustrated. So the magazine itself had the 12 regions that we're still going to adopt. It also has the best of 1977. Now check this out. In alphabetical order, you had Super Dan Anderson, James Cook, Steve Fisher, Steve Mackey, Ray McCallum, Sam Shockley, Ernest Radar Smith. Yeah, the only guy that actually put his nickname in there. Ray Sewell, Bobby Tucker, and Keith Vitale. Now those are the top 10 men in no particular order in terms of alphabet, but that year I believe number 1 was Keith Vitale. And then you had the top 10 women. And this was it. Now, eventually, it got more popular with this little magazine that we bought on the newsstand. Okay, from there, I'm going to go to, let's see, this is 1982. Yeah, we'll go to 1982, so you start seeing the difference. So in 1982, the magazine now is a lot thicker. Again, Peter Morales is on the cover, one of the first Wushu guys. And I think that's Glenn Wilson. And the magazine was huge. Has stories on, and I wonder whatever happened to this girl here, because Lori Clapper, look at her there doing the form.
Hey.
Yeah, so Lori Clapper, these are full articles that it had. Hurricane along the Florida Keys with Lori Clapper. Then here, not only did you have the map and the ratings, there's George Chung, but you also had, again, Leonard Dunley there forever. I'm going back, guys, and I apologize. I'm going to focus on Region 11 because that was our region. And a lot of people keep claiming that they were in Region 11, and they were, but they were later on. So you got William Oliver. Jerry Robbins is the same Jerry Robbins with Gerard Howard. Speedy Wilson, that was Michael Sledge's partner. Alton Wilkinson, I don't know who the heck that is. That must have been upstate New York. Steve LaValle, which is right there, rest in peace. Carl Thomas, again, not sure. Teddy Pritchard, I definitely knew who he was. And rest in peace to him. Walter Anderson, Jeffrey Gooding, and Keith Hansen. So in this magazine, this was the start of the year. So that means this is not the final. So sometimes people would get rated for maybe one issue or two, and then you go to the next issue and they were gone. Because the fact of the matter is that you had to be consistent. These were the regional ratings, had nothing to do with the national ratings. Then they had inside information about each region and so on and so forth. Now, in my case, this is 1982, which is really from the information 1981. By the time I started competing, it was 1982, shortly after that, and they didn't give me the proper points. They gave credit to somebody else, so otherwise I would have got rid at age 17, at 16. But at age 16 already, this magazine, you can see, come close. This is Karate Illustrated, 1984. I apologize. 83, I got to get the one with Miyazaki. That's just in the back. So you go to Region 11, at this point, Thunder for Curitan, it actually allows his nickname, which is crazy. They didn't put my fast food name. Thunder for Curitan, Jerry Fontanes, Tony Morrison, my partner Mike Steigerwald, down now sometimes these people would be rated like Mike Steigerwald, that we never competed against them because they were down in South Jersey, or someone like Randy Lawrence, but they were up in Syracuse. So I actually went over to compete against Tony Overton up in Syracuse at Greg Tierney's tournament, because I was like, man, I never seen these guys competing. And then someone said, oh, it's upstate New York. And I never realized, when you live in New York City, you think Region 11 is only New York City. No, it's not. It was the whole state of New York and the whole state of New Jersey. So that being the case, I had to, so there were people rated in both areas. So I said, let me start competing with Jersey, South Jersey included, and let me start competing upstate New York, just to become versatile. And, I should say, just to become known everywhere. So Billy Beeson, Esteban Trotman, Esteban been speaking to him, Lee Smith, I don't know whatever happened to him, Tony Overton, again, Ken Duala. Today is Abdul Aziz, same guy. He was here, actually, he was the one that was here. And Abdul Aziz was also phenomenal in form, still was and still is. And he'll be competing at the tournament. So a lot of these people, rest in peace to Jerry Smith. Oh, here's Greg Tierney. Now, guys, I apologize for speaking so fast. I'm a Puerto Rican that's excited about something that I haven't been excited about in so many different years. These magazines, now watch, if you was lucky enough, you would get your photo in the magazine. I did that photo shoot right in the Fast Feet Dojo outside there. I did a jumping straddle. And that's where it came out. Now, excuse me, you want the other picture? Yeah, I'm going to show that a little bit, honestly. You got up and I've been going off on this stuff. You see this whole mess? What the hell is going on over here? Okay, so she wants to request. Okay, so now let's go fast forward to 1987. See, this led up until 1986. The ratings were in Karate Illustrated. Now, 1987 became a whole new thing. And what do I mean by that? All of a sudden, it became Karate Kung Fu Illustrated. See the difference? Karate Kung Fu Illustrated. Now, as Karate Kung Fu Illustrated, there were no ratings in there unless there was ad space. So if you look here, and this year is 1990. Actually, I have to go back a little further. This is probably when it started. 1987. 1987. Here you have ads. See this here? East, West. This is ads that they put for the new, what was called PKL ratings, the Professional Karate League, that used the same map. So you still had the same regional people. Again, I'm going just to Region 11, I apologize. But then you would have names of people we never heard of, because if the year just started, there was one tournament, so whoever went to that tournament would get rated. As an example, Eddie Thompson, I don't know who that is. Lewis Wilson, I think that guy's in Region 10. Gentleman who actually showed me, that shared a lot of videos. Ron Jenkins. John Snyder. I think this is Region, I apologize. I'm wrong. That is Region 10. Never mind. Never mind. That is the right region. Yeah, and these guys were rated. But again, this is not Karate Illustrated. This is Karate Kung Fu Illustrated, and this is the PKL ratings. Now, PKL was Professional Karate League, and they were sponsored by East West. Okay, yeah, I was number one there. I see, and I was also number one in forms. So, yes. Karate Kung Fu Illustrated did have a magazine. It did have the ratings, but it's not the same thing. And I'll explain what the difference was. Oh my God, look at this. Tony, this is the difference too. They used to do articles on the sport karate fighters. Not that we get to cover this. Rest in peace to Ray McCallum. I might have to read this. Anyway, and then you also had, just information. Tournaments were king. All right, so now this going back, I apologize, I'm going back to this issue here only because it's where Tony Overton was number one. Kevin Thompson, rest in peace. All these names, pioneers and legends, but Thunder for Curitan, Tony Morrison, Odell Willis, Red Parisi, Billy Beeson, Jeff Rainuza, rest in peace for Jeff. So many names, guys. Any of these people, any of these ratings by Karate Illustrated, not Karate Kung Fu Illustrated. And forget about Taekwondo Times or Inside Kung Fu. That's a whole different monster, guys. Not saying that that wasn't important also, but it wasn't the same as this. So please, I'm focusing specifically on where I came up with. From here, we wanted to become kickboxing champions, full contact champions. But again, here are the ratings. Now, so when Karate Kung Fu Illustrated came out, that became a bi-monthly. Every month we used to run to the freaking, it was crazy. Sometimes it would take me 3 hours, believe it or not. And I used to come home empty-handed because I used to go from the Bronx to Manhattan, back to the Bronx, and I had to sneak on the train because I was a teenager. The magazine was $1.50 at the time, and I had to borrow the money from my, this is when it's $1.95, here's where it's $1.75, and here's where $1, and then in between there was $1.50 at the biggest, when I was going there.
Wow.
Yeah.
$1.95.
$1.95, okay.
$1.75.
Okay, so again, you see when the prices started to change. Anyway, just to prove what I'm talking about here. By the time 1990 comes, this is how the magazine looks. Can you even see that?
Not really, no.
So these were the ratings. Because they were buying the ad space. And if you look, you found this actually a little bit. Again, going back to, I apologize, guys. I'm going to focus on my region. So region 11.
Right here.
And what am I rated? No, that's AKL. Amateur Karate League. Sorry. Professional Karate League.
Men, Jerry Fontenez, number 4.
Yeah, and a bunch of other people there. Now again, why there's only 5 people? Because those are people who paid to become members of what would be the PKL.
Can anybody find Jerry?
That magazine, that photo, believe it or not, is when I was 16 years old and I took the photo outside at the dojo. That same day was when I did the other photo of me doing that jumping straddle that came out of the magazine. But there was so many issues after that it got darker and darker and darker. And they still use me as part of what would have been the advertising. Who used me? Glenn Hart. Now, if you notice here, this is the Professional Karate League. Now, you didn't recognize me there.
No, you look like one of the
Little Rascals.
from a TV show. Oh my God, that they show a paper back in the day.
Wow, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You didn't notice this. Look, 1990. Number 1 nationally. Who is it?
Jerry Fontenez.
Now, that doesn't mean that I finished number 1 that year. That means that at some point during the year, I was ranked number 1 nationally, but I was ranked number 4 regionally because I started competing in the national tournaments. Plus, I also competed in the dungeon tournaments to keep my so-called ghetto reputation. But I also went to regional tournaments, and I went to the national tournaments while running successful martial arts schools. Now, I got to throw that in there, damn it, because martial arts competition to me became my side hustle and vocation. I got tons of seminars because of it. Eventually, I started earning quite a bit of money with my clothing line and so on and so forth. So I've been a renaissance man when it comes to martial arts and competition. So if you taught in the PAL and the YMCA, that was wonderful. My instructor of Sansu Tiger Kim was on Foutain Road. And to me, when I opened up a school, I wanted to open up a mainstream school. Yes, fighting in the ghettos, man, that made me tough. Fighting on the national circuit made me skillful. You know, learning how to earn income, it was based out of necessity. And so there's a way to earn martial arts living, doing it without having to sell out. But again, going back to this. So when people ask me about tournaments of yesteryear, or competition, 1990, think about this. You weren't even born, little bit, right? 1990. Nope. So
6 years later.
So if what I'm talking about started in the year 2000, that would have been a quarter of a century. So I do understand that this here is over 40 years ago. Over 40 years ago. But the proof is still there. So I don't have to, what would be, when people try to act like they're authorities, I get pissed off because not only, if you notice, there's been a lot of names, right? In other words, if I show you the Region 11, there'll probably be like 30 names in 3 years that were there. But I'm one of the few that was there every freaking year. When they guys competed once or twice, 3 times, and then disappeared and they went to work and whatever happened, I was there consistently. So I'm not saying that to brag, it's just a historical fact. So I get upset when people try to talk crap like they know what the hell they're talking about. I wasn't just competing. 1990, I'm #1 nationally at that time. What? Regionally too. Forums. Fighting. So that puts me in a position where I was a fan also of all these competitors. And that's what this is about. Your guys still have...
Melvin said us.
Us. I'm gonna go.
Bennett.
Yeah, yeah, sexy mouth. Okay. I'm gonna go over that us thing too because you guys, there's a whole history about that too. So I'm gonna explain. I know it shows respect and honor, but that really, I'm gonna give you guys the history of that too because my job is to educate people, motivate people on a specific fact. Hun, I'm not going to be able to answer anybody right now. Thank you very much. But those of you, I will promise to respond, but I want to keep my frame of thought. I don't want to be nasty, but I get upset. I appreciate people like Melvin because he'll be there. My man. But I'm on a mission right now to inspire people, to motivate people, and educate people because when it comes down to it, I know that this event is going to launch off a lot of stuff. And people have, listen, you can't just show up, okay? There is no black belt list tonight. You're gladly invited and we figure it out. We have enough judges. We have enough judges. Every judge has been filled. But we have timekeepers and scorekeepers and you guys can't participate in that. And there's no disrespect intended, but you guys just can't show up that day because you will not get in. You will not get in. And when I speak to you guys, oh yeah, I'm coming. How? What I'm saying is that either get your tickets, and I must say there's been a lot of people who have purchased their tickets, who have been rated competitors. I said, no. If you was a rated competitor, not in Karate Kung Fu Illustrated, again, that guy there, believe it or not, is me. And most of you guys probably never realized that. And that's Jerry Otto, Charlie Lee, Keith Harbayashi, and I'm not sure who this little kid is, but that's for the AKO. He started the American, Amateur Karate League. I almost have to stop myself because I don't want to get nasty, but let me get the camera here so I can bring it down. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let me slow down a bit here. Guys, so what I'm saying is that these Karate Illustrated ratings go back to the the results of tournaments in magazines go back to the 1960s. And then in the 1970s, things got different when they started organizing it. The person who did it was Ronaldo Barden. And Ronaldo Barden, hopefully he comes to the tournament. I'm really trying to get him there. He's the one that took Karate Illustrated, again, not Karate Kung Fu Illustrated, and he started putting things together and organizing it and taking it to a whole other level. When he left Karate Illustrated decided not to do the ratings any longer, and that's when the Professional Karate League, again, the Professional Karate League, started advertising, right? And that's me again, believe it or not. That's that old photo, 5th generation. Karate
Hello, Moto.
Karate Illustrated started registering, selling ad space for the Professional Karate League via Glenn Hart, and you became a member, and then you would go to the tournaments that were rated, and if you went to those rated tournaments, whether they were regional, and back then, guys, there was only 2 different ratings. There was national ratings, which was A, and B rated. A and B, not AAA and all that crazy numbers that they have right now. So, for whatever it's worth, we're gonna be doing rated tournaments also. That's not gonna be only by me. So, guys, I'm serious about this thing. And I know a lot of you guys are too. And I really appreciate those who want to come and will be coming, and those who can't come because you can't. And I'm really sorry to hear that. But the truth of the matter is that I'm emotional about this because as I'm reading these names right now that I just flashed through, I didn't realize, and just focusing on Region 11, there's so many people who have passed away. When I see the Grandmaster Ray McCallum, who I interviewed twice, and I see names of other people who I haven't interviewed. So I'm trying to figure out what is it that I can do right now to really show some love to people that are still around, to let them know how much I appreciate them and want their story told. And when I think about it, it is me interviewing every competitor. And I'm going to start doing this as soon as possible, because I want to make sure this event is life-changing for people. A lot of people get it. Some people just don't. My job is just to make sure that everybody does know about the date. So September 20th, the UMAN OGs Fountain of Youth National Championships will be happening at the LPAC, Latino Presbyterian Action Center, at 170th and Jerome Avenue. And we're so excited to have people coming like the legends Joe Corley, Tayari Cassell, Toki Hill, Earl Bennett, Derek Williams, Kendo Allah, formerly known as Kendo Allah, which is Abdul Aziz, Jonas Nunez, and most of these people competing, the last part, Derek, Abdul, and Jonas are competing in the same division. They got Javon Holmes, which I haven't seen in many years. So these people, I'm just fans of them, and I get a chance to actually put a platform that could show that I appreciate them. And I am looking for partners in different regions, because everywhere around the world, we have some unforgotten, I should say some forgotten pioneers and legends and heroes. Our tournament already has 7 women over 50 that are competing. Thanks to Master Ty, we're exposing these women so they can, shine too. It's not about just the guys. And this is not just a black belt tournament. It is all belts. Anyhow, that was the whole history, some of the history of Karate Illustrated and Karate Kung Fu Illustrated, just to educate people. And maybe this motivated you too. But I'm winding down now because I got other things to do. And I gotta take a nap. I've been losing my mind this morning because people were saying things. I'm like, no, you guys are all phenomenal, but no, this is different. This is not, the proof is in the paperwork. Yes, there were times where people got rated once or twice, but no, it wasn't during the heyday that I'm talking about. The 1986 and before was Karate Illustrated. Anything after that was Karate Kung Fu Illustrated. The PKL did the ratings for NASCAR initially, and then they started their own PKL tournaments. But Karate Illustrated had anybody, and this is pre. So we're talking about Karate Illustrated. Anyone's been rated there, you do not have to pay to compete or even spectate. But just let me know if you're coming and when you're coming. Otherwise, you're not going to get in. You're not going to be able to pay at the door either, I don't believe. Possibly you will, but you will pay more. Pay at the door, you're going to pay more. And there is no black belt list tonight. AB, see ya.